Pickleball, the fastest growing sport in America, played in both singles and doubles formats. Pickleball is a cross between badminton, tennis, and ping pong, and played by individuals of all ages and skill levels. We saw this weekend over 277 players from as far as the UK, Canada, and Aruba internationally, and 20 states from across the U.S.
We had almost 300 players from 20 states, 3 countries.
Pickleball balls for young and old. Pickleball balls for young and old. If I did not win the game, my doubles partner is to blame.
From the beautiful PGA Village, Verano in Port St. Lucie, Florida, welcome to the 2019 World Pickleball Open. Hello, I'm Carl Foster, along with Ivan Barron, the tournament director of this first-time event in a beautiful new facility, Ivan, and what a weekend.
We've had 14 months to get ready for this event, and we could not have asked for an unbelievable weather for 3.5 days. The sun is out, it's in the 60s. We've had 275 participants from 20 states and 3 countries at this event.
Beautiful thing is you've got teenagers up into their 80s, all different divisions, and a professional division. This is one of the fastest growing sports in the country.
Absolutely. We had $15,000 in prize money this week. We had a 15-year-old player, a 79-year-old player, 30-plus divisions. This sport, the players are passionate, they're excited, they're eager, and they just love to have fun.
It's one of the fastest growing sports, and it's coming from all ages. They're playing in the YMCAs, they're playing in the youth divisions, and they're playing in the retirement facilities where they're taking tennis courts, turning them into pickleball courts to supply the demand.
Yes, it's more of a 50-plus demographic, but the reality is it's getting younger. The larger events have prize money. The younger players want to play to compete in the professional divisions. It's just booming, and this facility is one of the premier pickleball facilities in the country.
For a facility to build just pickleball courts, and they're hosting tournaments here. Obviously, this championship and the exposure of building new homes and building a community around pickleball.
Yes, Coulter Homes has stepped up. The lights are amazing. The surface is incredible. It's an impeccable facility done the right way. We've had a great team set up. John Manrique with Coulter Homes has been outstanding, and we look forward to many years of a high-level, prestigious event, one of the best in the country.
And as a former tennis junior champion of the world, are you ready for your pickleball challenge?
I'll tell you, I've played a few times. My 8-year-old plays, my wife plays, my kids play. It's just a great, fun, casual sport to play, and anyone can play.
Many stories here on a beautiful weekend at the PGA Village, Verano. Coming up from the World Pickleball Open, we'll talk to some of the top players on why this is becoming the fastest sport in America. Why is pickleball the fastest growing sport in America?
The biggest thing is because it's fun and it's social, but I think that the greatest thing is whether you're athletic or not, anybody can get good at it. So when people are coming from, especially in the retired space, but a lot of young people playing it too, you know, you take things like golf and tennis that take years to get good, and you know, as long as you're somewhat athletic and can move a little bit and have a great spirit and stuff, and then in a short time you can be a good player and can play with anybody of all ages. So I think that's why it's attracting most people.
It actually started in the phys ed in 5th grade. They were teaching in 5th grade, so I'm one of the lucky ones that got to be exposed to it at such a young age. But at 23, in my hometown of Rochester, New York, I met a lot of very good players who knew the game very well, and they took me under their wing and showed me the ropes, and I fell in love with the game like a lot of people do.
Tennis seems to be a sport that's transitioned. It's a little bit of badminton, a little bit of racquetball, a little ping pong. It's a combination of everything. So compared to tennis, you gravitating more to this? You like this more than tennis?
Oh, by far. I haven't touched a racket in 2 years.
Okay.
But out of all the sports that you mentioned, I think tennis is the easiest transition.
Yeah, I was a tennis player my whole life. I grew up playing junior tennis and college tennis, a little bit of pro. I taught tennis. I walked on the pickleball court last November, and the first time I walked out there, I loved it.
We were able to play with our parents as well as our grandparents that are now almost 80, and it's just really great that we can all play together.
With Melissa McCurley, president of pickleballtournaments.com, here at the first World Pickleball Championships at PGA Verano. Beautiful facility, but no new experience for you because you've been doing this for a while.
I have. I have been running pickleball tournaments for 6 years. I run all the big ones, if you will, U.S. Open over in Naples, the Nationals out in Indian Wells, California, many others in between. This is my 22nd event just to do this year.
Now talk about pickleball overall. I mean, what's been the excitement and the energy, and this is really starting to take off. But you've been around it for a while, but it seems to be taking another level.
It is taking it another level. When I got involved 6 years ago, there were 93 tournaments that we were doing with pickleballtournaments.com. Fast forward into this year, that was 2014. Fast forward to 2019, we're running 748 events with pickleballtournaments.com. So the explosion has been significant. The excitement around pickleball comes from the social aspect of it. It's a life-changing sport. People of all ages can play all different kind of skills, and it's quick and easy to learn. Within 15 minutes, you can have a paddle in your hand, know enough to get out in court and play, and have a blast.
The inaugural World Pickleball Open showcased at the PGA Village of Verano with 27 brand new dedicated pickleball courts.
I mean, this is world class. We got players from, I believe they said 20 different states and 3 different countries. So we have a very diverse field here for all events from the 3-0 to the pro events. So very good to see.
Competition has been a lot of fun and excellent, a high level, and the courts are beautiful, playing really nicely. So it's been a pleasure to be out here playing.
This venue is brand new and it's beautiful. I'm enjoying it. I mean, good people from the Florida area.
We're at PGA Village Verano with John Manrique, VP of Marketing with Coulter Homes and
How are you doing today, Carl?
World Pickleball Open. This is an amazing facility.
It's been fabulous. We opened this just a month ago, and really the inspiration was this tournament, working with Ivan and his team to pull it together, and it's been fabulous. The reaction we're getting from our residents here at PGA Village Verano, the spectators, the players, has been just affirming on where this sport is and where it's going.
How did you investigate and look at pickleball versus tennis, golf, and you got other amenities here, obviously, but you're focusing on pickleball, which not a lot of places are doing right now?
Well, we listen to the people that are looking to buy homes with us, and so pickleball is a sport. 5 years ago, what did I tell you? We'd build 27 courts here? Probably not. But in listening to what folks have to say, a lot of surveying, listening to feedback, this is a demand, and we've got people now that are buying a new home here just because of the pickleball complex.
Well, that's we see a lot of resorts and developments that are changing tennis courts into pickleball courts, but you've got a first-class facility here to hold an event like this from 20 states and several countries. What's the future here for your own? Obviously, you want to sell more real estate, more homes, and the development, but where do you see pickleball going as part of your plan?
Well, again, we opened with 27 courts, so they're ready. Come on out if you play pickleball. We'd love to have you come live here and enjoy it. They're building the club here. The residents are putting a club together. They're motivated. They're looking to bring in other communities to have competitions and their own friendly tournaments, which will be fun. So this one's done. We've got another community in Georgia where we're looking to launch with 30-plus courts because the demand's there. People want it. That'll be probably the largest in the state of Georgia. So we see a very bright future for pickleball. Obviously, this is built and designed specifically for the game. We hope to see some more tournaments, more players, and just more fun out here.
Port St. Lucie we still have what makes Florida, Florida. We are the safest large city in Florida. We have one of the highest rates of home ownership. U.S. News and World Report this last year recognized us as one of the best cities near the beach, one of the best places to retire, and the 23rd most desirable place in the entire country. So we're really on the rise here in Port St. Lucie. We're very proud of Verano. It's beautiful. We love our residents, and it's great when a neighborhood says, you know what, the city, you don't have to do everything. We're going to bring a world-class amenity. We're going to bring 26 courts and a championship court to our community. We're going to put it right here, and then we're going to invite the world to come check out Verano and Port St. Lucie. That's awesome. You can't beat that kind of partnership and collaboration.
With Rick Hatcher at the World Pickleball Championships at PGA Verano with the Treasure Coast Sports Commission, Executive Director, and sports commissions get involved with sports and activities. Did you ever think you'd be getting involved with pickleball?
Well, we know it was a new sport coming into the area, and we're excited to be involved with it. But to see the vision of PGA Verano over the last 2 years and the development of the courts, and then working with Ivan and his whole crew of putting this tournament together, we're excited.
Well, this is growth area. We're just talking to the mayor about just how this area is growing, and it looks like a lot of developments building pickleball right into that aspect of it with the 55 and over groups, but it's not just for 55 and over. We see people from 18 to 80 playing this sport now.
Well, yeah, that's the uniqueness of it. And when you start looking at the growth of Port St. Lucie and St. Lucie County, you got to add the amenities put into the residential areas, and to have the foresight, okay, what is the up and coming sports that's going to be associated with any of the residents, and this is what pickleball is about.
Welcome back to the inaugural World Pickleball Open at Port St. Lucie, Florida. And can the players really make this a full-time career? So you see people maybe making a career out of this?
Yeah, so there's interesting conversation with that. So there are some people that have careers in it now, not just able to play pickleball with prize money, but they're actually teaching and giving lessons. We're seeing a transition in that happen. So as we are now in 2020, we have 2 professional tours that have now come on board and giving the players an opportunity to make a living playing pickleball.
And what about the professional open? Is that your aspiration to play professional at one point?
Not so much perhaps to teach and run clinics, but to play professional pickleball, not necessary. They do have a 50-plus pro level, which we've played in one tournament, and I'm sure we'll play in some more in the future. But just to compete and be healthy and be involved in this great community.
Is it possible to make a living playing professional pickleball at this stage?
Nice. That's a great question. And at this stage, it's becoming more and more of a reality. Every year, the prize pool and the money for the pros is getting better and better. It's not where we would like it to be yet, but this year with the PPA and the APP coming up, I don't even know what those stand for yet, but I'm going to be there. But there's a lot of people supporting the game because they love it just as much as we do. We like to put on the show. We love to compete, and people love to see the game grow. So every year it's been getting better and better. There's other ways to fund or fuel yourself, fuel your families. Teaching is a really big one for us, the pros. We like to give back to the game and teach and support ourselves as well by doing that.
Our family, other than playing, we also manufacture pickleball paddles. So that's one thing that we're big on. We're about 4.5 years old currently. Engage Pickleball is our company name. So we've been that's been our main thing right there is manufacturing, and we're also big on training. So we have a couple different avenues that we work with for pickleball in our future.
Actually, right now I'm actually teaching. I have my company Jolie Sports, and I'm teaching pickleball full time. So I made the transition 100% here, and it's hard to make a living, let's say, from tournaments. But if you're teaching, if you do clinics, and also a little bit of tournaments, also you can. So the sport's only growing, and there's a lot more money that's going to come into it, and eventually you'll see a lot of probably more tennis players that are not making it in the Pro Tour come over.
Let's check out some of the action at the World Pickleball Open, singles and doubles. And it's fast action when you see the singles players going back and forth right outside the kitchen area, which is the line, and you see the fast movement, just much like ping pong in any racket sport. And the doubles, mixed doubles, was a big day on Sunday. You see the serving has to be underhand. Both players going side to side and back and forth. You see the kitchen area highlighted there. You can get the ball in the kitchen area, but then the finesse comes into play. So you see the player standing behind that kitchen line, waiting for the pop-up and the opportunity to put the ball away with the other opponents back by the baseline. The object is to get to the kitchen line and the net to be able to put the ball away. The player, once they serve, they want to get right up to the net next to their partner, and you see the finesse there that they try to get the ball back and forth, both teams right behind the kitchen line. Hand-to-hand combat. Fast action, but also not always speed, but the accuracy. See the jump, and she puts it right into the net. A lot of finesse, and the rallies get quite longer. I mean, they both go back and forth several times, and you see some really great points, especially as you get into the more experienced levels and the professional levels. And you see the finesse and the art to the sport of pickleball. Brothers and sisters playing here, some of the top players that play and travel around the country. This gold medal round, you see the champions here in the forecourt with Meredith, the University of Miami, with a tennis background, playing with a professional who's been in the sport, teaches pickleball actually. That's Stefan on the right, and they've teamed up for the first time in this tournament And to see the action there, the ball getting into the kitchen area, all the finesse, so it's not just how hard you can hit the pickleball. There's a lot of finesse involved, and both players, you have to be very astute when you're watching the eye-hand coordination. You see the underhand serves, so it's always underhand, whether it's male or female, singles or doubles. And then you get to the net, then you see the hand-to-hand combat with the game. You see this was the gold medal finalist, first-time champions, teaming up for the first time, and anybody can play pickleball. And you see the enjoyment of the sport and the competitiveness. They play sometimes 5-6 matches in a day. Unlike tennis and other sports, you don't get as worn out aerobically in the art of pickleball. We're at the World Pickleball Open with Nikki Voorhees and Head Pen Pickleball. Coming from the tennis world, we're used to saying tennis. You came from the tennis world, but now you're into pickleball. You even play now too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, how did you get involved? As far as Head, how long has Head been involved making rackets and merchandise?
So Head's been making pickleball paddles for about 3 years now, and we're loving it. We love the atmosphere. It's very different than tennis, so we're learning a lot. I personally am learning a lot, and it's just a blast.
There's been a transition from playing tennis to pickleball. We've talked to a lot of players that it seems like a natural transition. Some haven't played tennis before, but it seems like it's for all ages as well.
Absolutely. My favorite part about pickleball is that anyone can go out on the court and just play a good pickleball match, you know, and I've been playing for 2 years now. I've been with Head for 2 years, and I absolutely love it. This is actually my first tournament that I played, and I played in the 4-5 division. Probably would play in the 4-0 division next time because I didn't do too good. But you know what? It's just so much fun. So much fun.
Now talk about the rackets, because that's interesting versus tennis. We don't have to string these, but what's the difference in the different style of rackets? And just when people are looking for rackets, what do you tell them?
Yeah, really it's all about the style of play and really what they're looking for. So we've got paddles that, you know, offer a lot of power. We've got paddles that offer good control, and we've got a huge array behind me as well. And we're selling at this tournament too, which is really exciting. It really, like I said, it all depends. Now these are our premium paddles. They've got graphite faces on them, and this is kind of our, you know, cream of the crop. But this is actually the paddle that I play with, so I really like it. But yeah, it really all depends on the style of play. But we have a paddle for everyone out there.
If I'm a beginner, it's a different paddle than the pros are playing with their own type of paddle. So same as tennis, you play different styles.
And honestly, we don't really have a beginner or an advanced paddle. Really, the paddles are for everyone. It's all about your style. So you go out there, you just try them out. And coming from the tennis side of it too, we've been making graphite tennis rackets for so long, and we've really taken a lot of that and brought it over into the pickleball world. And we're making graphite paddles now too. So kind of have that one up, you know, that extra knowledge, I guess. But
sounds good. Let's go play some pickleball. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Welcome back to the World Pickleball Open. So what is the future of pickleball?
Yeah, it's endless. Pretty much everybody that tries it gets addicted. It's probably the healthiest thing to be addicted to out there. And internationally it's growing, not like it is in the US, but it's still growing. So we're traveling out there, others are traveling out there doing training in Asia and Europe, so that's great. You know, someday everyone always asks if it's going to be in the Olympics, and I guess it will be someday, but not for a while.
I mean, we've seen, you know, major growth from the first U.S. Open, you know, 3 years ago to now. So, I mean, we're always, tournaments keep getting bigger and bigger, and, you know, there's more and more money to be had in them.
Well, we've been talking about pickleball, the transition. You see a lot of tennis courts, a lot of clubs in this area. I've been going around and they're turning their tennis courts into pickleball courts. So what's been the biggest transition of people? Are they still playing tennis, or are they playing both?
Yeah, so you have people that are playing both. One of the number one tennis players, USTA tennis players, Jennifer Dawson out of Bobby Riggs Tennis Center in California, she's playing both, and she's one of the top pickleball players as well. Some tennis players will tell you that pickleball helps their game and vice versa. So it's not unusual. You're seeing so many more tennis players coming into the pickleball. It's really transitioned over the last 6 years. I mean, 5 years ago, our top level players in the world didn't really have tennis backgrounds, and now the top players in the world are coming from some kind of tennis background.
So where do you see the future for Rob Cassidy as far as pickleball goes? You know, whether it's playing, commentating, instructing. I mean, it's a whole new industry, isn't it?
That's actually right. That's correct. I really don't plan on leaving anything behind. I'm a big supporter of the referee staff that we have. I think that's a very important part of the game. Of course, I'm going to be a competitor first. You know, always looking for a national title. That's a dream of mine. I'd love to be part of the Olympics. I look forward to spreading the game internationally to make that a reality, to bring this game to the Olympics, and I'd love to be a part of that any way I can. And of course, I'd love doing the commentary, bringing that to the fans. It's something I love to do, and if they love me doing it, I'm going to keep going. So, yeah.
Well, good luck at the tournament this weekend, and good luck in your pickleball future.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's a wrap of the World Pickleball Open, the first one here at beautiful PGA Village of Verano in Port St. Lucie. Ivan Barron, what a weekend, and just how many medals were given out this weekend? You had age divisions from the teens up into the 80s.
Yes, 15 to 79 was the age bracket, 25 plus divisions, over 250 medals, gold, silver, bronze. We had an incredible year one. The weather's gorgeous. I think there's maybe one cloud in the sky way out there. We could not be more happy with the staff, the volunteers, and everyone involved.
27 courts, and you had a professional division also. What's the future of the professionalism of this sport? Will it become a tennis in the future?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's a fledgling sport where the pros want to do well. There's a lot more events with larger prize money this year. But this week we had $15,000 in prize money. The player that won the Open division approximately is about 3 in the world. It was just great hosting everybody from 20 plus events. You never know. Next year we hope to double this event to 500 plus.
And there's singles, doubles, mixed doubles, but it seems like more of a doubles sport.
Yes, it is actually. I'd say 80% of the divisions were doubles. Today was mixed doubles Sunday. It was just an amazing event. More singles players will play, but I think doubles is kind of the catchphrase now.
Well, the World Pickleball Open, pickleball, the upcoming sport, the fastest growing sport in America. Keep your eyes on your pickleball rackets, your paddles, and your tennis courts that may soon be pickleball courts. For Ivan Barron, I'm Carl Foster from the beautiful PGA Village Verano in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Have a good pickleball day wherever you may play.